All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rec Recap. Week 3. It's an eventful week 3. A lot of oddities, a lot of weird stuff.
Oh yeah, we got there's a lot of really weird things happening in both leagues. So it's a good week 3, I think. I mean, the weird stuff usually seems to happen in the second half of the season. That doesn't really happen in the first 3 weeks. You know, everybody's trying to get the rosters together, get everybody playing. But yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about, guys. It was crazy.
And make sure that we say a big rest in peace to our man Prince. He died today. I was literally cutting some video together today, and my phone buzzed, and it just says, Prince is dead. AP alert. Oh, man. Were you a big Prince fan?
I was a big Prince fan, and I totally forgot that one of my buddies I talk with quite a bit, it's actually his godfather.
Really?
Yeah, Prince is his godfather, and he passed away. And his dad's been involved in the music industry for a while, especially like with stage productions, things of that sort. So that's kind of how they met, and it was actually his godfather. So it was kind of crappy. I mean, you know, he's an icon of the state, man, and he was the lead for so much talent coming out of the state, and for people to be successful in the music industry. Jimmy Jam wouldn't be doing what he'd be doing if it wasn't for Prince, and all these artists that he helped out all the way without asking for a dime in return after they made it. So I mean, yeah, it sucks, sad day, and if you guys haven't listened to Prince beforehand, that's bad. You should have listened to him beforehand. Get on that jam, and the guy's left a legacy. So rest in peace, fella.
Yeah, I DJ weddings. I guarantee that it'll be the Michael Jackson effect, where I'm going to be playing a lot of Prince going forward, which isn't a bad thing. I don't mind that.
They got people sitting at First Ave right now just listening to music that First Ave is blaring out there, like the streets shut down. So it's pretty awesome. So, sorry. Well, that was close.
Yeah, very close. I don't even know if they could see the ball on the.
I don't think that you guys. The reason why we just paused, it wasn't awkward. I'm just trying to tell people not to go in front of the camera. Yeah, there was a ball that just came through and completely almost took out the leg of the tripod. So
basketball, everybody. All right,
we're trying to get the hang of this. We're ironing the kinks out.
Working on it.
Week 8, it might be professional.
All right, let's talk a little basketball now. Let's head out to Bloomington. You know, we had a lot of really good games in Bloomington. First of all, the big news this week: the Rebels and Red Devils had to be rescheduled. Red Devils did not have enough guys. They contacted me and said, ask the Rebels if they'd be willing to reschedule. They said yes. So they're going to be playing a doubleheader instead of taking a forfeit. Bravo, Rebels. Very cool of you. Very cool of you.
Yeah, I mean, we all, and I get it from their front. Nobody likes to get a forfeit win. I mean, if it's a trash team that you know you're going to whoop up on, that has been losing every game in the season by 30 points, yeah, I can see that towards the end of the season, you know, to rest yourself up a little bit. But everybody's paying, hoping to get 8 games, and forfeits suck. So Rebels, good job. I definitely giving you guys applause. I know you guys want to play your 8th game, and the game between you and the Red Devils is always good for some reason. You guys play each other really well. It's usually pretty interesting. So thank you. It gives us something to watch later. And it's going to be a little tougher on both teams to have to play that doubleheader. But, yeah, that's kudos, guys. Good karma coming your way, hopefully.
All right, so now to the 7 o'clock game that actually happened. Yeah. The Broncos versus the Squires. This was a game that I thought for sure that the Squires were going to be kind of rebounding. And here's how it went. Game tied at 70 with a minute and a half remaining. Squires take the Bronco miss the length of the floor. Kyle Mead clears a path for Steve Springer, who lays it in to give the Squires a 2-point lead. The ensuing Broncos possession, they work it inside to Mike Henson, who can't quite finish with the left, and the Broncos have to foul. With 9 seconds left, Broncos send Mead to the line for a 1-and-1. Mead misses the front end, and the Broncos have one last shot to win it. Alex McLean grabs a rebound but can't get a shot up, and the Broncos fall to the Squires 72-70. Here's Alex McLean after the game. All right, I'm here with Alex McLean. Alex, tough loss. You guys had a lead there, and then it kind of got away from you. Tell me a little bit about what happened there.
You know, I mean, that was a fast-paced game, one of the fastest-paced games I've ever played, and you know, I don't know if it's because we're still feeling out the kinks. We got a new team, bunch of new guys. None of us have ever played with each other before, except for, you know, one or two of us with each other. But, you know, we're still working it out. We, I early season, we're still out of shape, and we let that show real bad in the second half. I mean, we came out firing, moving the ball real smooth on offense, got great shots all game, and then we just let it slip, and we got tired, we got lazy on D, and we didn't crash the boards hard enough, and they took advantage to the fullest, and it was a tough loss.
Take me through that last play of the game. Did you think you had more time, or did you guys think you were down 3, or what happened there?
I don't know what was going on, to be honest. I thought I had at least 6 seconds left on the clock, number 2, and I also thought we were calling a timeout. I'm just trying to get it out there and set up for a final shot off the timeout. So if I had any idea what was going on, I would have just turned around and pulled, and at least gave ourselves a chance. But either way, it doesn't matter. That's not why we lost. We let a huge lead go, and it comes down to just getting lazy, and that's all it was.
Very cool. Well, good luck next week. Hopefully you guys get your first win.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're still working out the kinks. I like our players. We got a good team. The offensive end, we're flowing real well. We just got to work it out, and probably hit the gym more during the week and get back into the good running shape so we can stick it out harder on D.
There you go, Alex McLean, everybody. Yeah, that's a tough scenario. That's a tough situation.
I've never been on the end of a game where it ends where you don't take the shot and you let the clock run out and you lose. I've been on the end of a game where I committed a foul that I shouldn't have at a guy, which it was, you always think we didn't foul the guy, right? But when you look back in retrospect, you're like, it was a dumbass thing for jumping out at a guy. At the end of the game, put him in the free throw line to win it. So shoot the ball. I'm sorry, Alex. It sucks, man. I mean,
I'm going to defend him here a little bit too. There's a lot of chaos going around because the guy missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and then they come down. His guy hucks a 3 with like 5-6 seconds left, and so I'm sure he was thinking we need a 3, right? So whether or not he got confused about the time or got confused about the score, whatever it was, it's unfortunate that he couldn't get a shot up, especially when the ball just kind of dropped right into his lap there. So
yeah, I mean. Trying not to yell at the people behind us. So I'm turning into an old man. This sucks.
Get off my porch.
Yeah, it's. I'm used to playing basketball. We all are. If we played organized in some sense, we have a scoreboard available at each end of the court, so we all are really seeing it. In Bloomington, it's kind of tough occasionally because there's only. I mean, is it the first court that's only got 1, but the other court's got 2?
I think both of them only have 1.
I can't remember. I think. Do they both only have 1?
Pretty sure it's only 1.
Here's the thing. So they both only have 1, and that throws you off. And we're used to that 2-court clock, or the 2-clock court, so you can see what's going on at all times. But yeah, I could definitely see how that would put him in that situation. But that sucks. I mean, and his teammates got to help him out to tell him to shoot it. I mean, everybody else was dialed in, watching him, wondering if he's going to shoot it or not. Nobody said a damn thing. I mean,
well, he played a hell of a game anyway. Led their team in scoring. It was a very good game. The Squires go to 1-2 now.
Squires go, yes.
Because they lost their first 2 games. This is their first win of the season. Broncos, your first win is coming.
Yep.
So hang in there. They looked really good.
Yeah,
so.
and that was their first game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their first game. You guys got more.
Well, it was their second game. They lost their first one.
That was their first game last week?
That was this is week 3.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Get it together, Kevin. All right, the other game of note, the Blue Chips looking to rally after losing to UDK. Here's how that game went against Bomb Squad. Blue Chips taking on Bomb Squad. Blue Chips, after the tough loss to UDK last week, looking to right the ship against the 0-1 Bomb Squad. And this game was all Blue Chips from the outset. Michael Bundy led scorers with 30 points. Tony DeBoer added 20 off the bench, and the Blue Chips won 79-60. All right, I'm here with Tony DeBoer from the Blue Chips. Big win tonight after kind of a tough loss last week. What does it mean to kind of, after a loss like last week's, to come out here and to get a decisive win like you guys did?
It's not just a loss from last week. Last 2 seasons, we lost by a buzzer beater, 4 games? So to come out like this and finally win a game handily feels good for us. And it should be good for us going forward, making a run towards the playoffs. We've had 2-6 seasons. We know we're better than that. And we're here to prove it this season.
All right, you guys got the Shockers coming next week. Was this a good tune-up game for you guys? Work out some of those kinks and take on one of the better teams in UH?
Absolutely. I mean, every time we play the Shockers, it's a close game. I mean, they knocked us out of off the playoffs last season with again another buzzer beater by Ethan and that fadeaway with 0.4 seconds left. It would have been nice to have a full team here, but our chemistry is coming along. We think we like our chances next week.
So, yeah, a decisive victory for the Blue Chips.
I didn't get a chance to see that game because I was playing at the same time. I checked the box score afterwards, and it looked like everybody had a part in that win. There was a lot of guys that normally aren't used to scoring double digits that actually got it. Talking with them at the end of the game, they seemed like they look good. They look very confident. They must have had a very good win. And you said it was a 19-point game?
I believe it was 19 points.
Okay. Yeah.
Could be wrong off the top of my head. We are in a gym. I don't have notes. Reed did this show with notes. No notes. No notes. All up here.
Yeah, it's you got to come back from a tough loss, and you got it happens. We all lose games just off random shit. I mean, I would not want to put in the playbook a 32-foot shot to win a game because 9 out of 10 times they're not going to win it, or 99 out of 100. So we used our guest pass on that one.
Yep. So a tough contest against the Shockers coming up, Speaking of the Shockers, let's talk a little bit about the nightcap. We'll come back and talk about UDK's win,
sure.
But let's talk a little bit about the nightcap. Shockers, Squeaks, they go to overtime. Here's how this game turned out. Squeaks Shockers, Jake Gave hits 2 free throws with about 2 minutes remaining to give the Shockers a 73-70 lead. And Greg Wells comes down and hits a really tough layup with about 1:30 left to cut the lead to 1. On the inbounds, it looks like the Squeaks might be able to make a play and get a steal, but Gave makes a wonderful play. Peterson to the line. He missed the first, made the second. Shockers up 2. Morton on the other end goes to the line, hits both his free throws, ties it up. After a timeout, Shockers come down the floor. Gave trying to make something happen. Kicks it across. And a nice pass down low to Welter, who finishes to give the Shockers a 2-point lead, 76-74. Squeaks come right back. Morton to the hole, can't make it. Ball loose, and a kick is called on the Shockers. If we look at the slow motion replay, it appears that's Morton kicking the ball for the Squeaks, but nevertheless, Squeaks get the ball. Thomas Halstead goes to the basket, gets fouled. He'll hit both those free throws and tie it at 76. Shockers try to make something happen here and can't. And we have overtime. In overtime, Wells takes it to the hoop, can't finish. Gave comes down. He's fouled, and that would just about do it. The Shockers would not look back. They would end up winning 82-80. All right, I'm here with Jake Gave. His Shockers just pulled out an overtime win, 82-80 over the Squeaks. How does it feel? It was a tough game. You guys' first big test of the season. You guys have beat every other team by, I think one was 19, the other was 20. So what is it like to play in a close game here?
I mean, it's definitely a lot more fun. I mean, those blowout games are fun. I mean, especially against the Rebels. But, you know, those guys are pretty good. They're going to be a good test for us. And, I mean, they got guys that like to run, too. I know there was like a 3-minute stretch there towards the second half where I was getting it and running, and we were scoring in like 5 seconds. They were going back, scoring in 5 seconds. And Zach's yelling, you know, we like to play at this pace, too, but that's what we're good at. And, you know, brought it home.
All right, 27 points tonight. How disappointed are you in your lackluster performance? Because you scored 29 in the first 2 games. I mean, 27 is quite the step down.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, bad game. I don't know. No, I mean, I don't know. Just trying to attack. I mean, the guys look to get me the ball on the Shockers, and, you know, we move the ball really well. Try to get it to Ethan as much as you can. You know, Storm was gone tonight, but Aaron knocks down the threes. Blair, Brandon hit a huge one. And, I mean, Matt, you know, we haven't lost a game with Matt in, I think, 19 games now. So he's the key, definitely.
Not too bad. You guys have the Blue Chips next week. What are you looking forward to in that matchup?
Just another win, I guess. You know, try to come out intensity. I mean, the last 2 times we played them came down to Ethan hitting some tough buzzer beaters. So hopefully, you know, it doesn't come down to that and we can take care of business. Keep rolling.
Very cool. All right, let's go to the crowd now. Let's ask some questions here from the crowd. What have you always wanted to ask Jake Cave?
I mean, where's the 29 at tonight?
You have to answer for that. Where's your 29?
They called some bogus goaltending one where I had an easy putback, and they gave it to Ethan, so there you go.
There you go. How about you? What have you always wanted to ask Jake Cave?
How long's your wingspan? Like 8 feet? Scratch your knees standing up?
Wingspan, go.
6, 7, I'd guess maybe.
Absolutely not true. All right. That's been Jake Gave and the Shockers. Back to you. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the Squeaks are a very, very good team. They're going to ruffle some feathers here in this league.
Yeah, I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but, I mean, that's a tough role. I mean, you get a college player, you get busted for that. It was an easy win against the Cavs. But the Cavs are not a bad team. I mean, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you got that loss from that. And then you got to roll up against the Shockers in your third game of the season. I mean, yeah, they're starting off 1-2, but they're going to finish. I think they can't finish worse than 500. I think they'll probably finish off 6-2, possibly 5-3 at the worst. They're a good squad. They're big. They're athletic. They can get up in the court, and they kept it on the Shockers that game. They played them better than I've seen a team play them for a full 44 minutes recently in the last couple seasons because the Shockers have been very commanding. I know the Shockers didn't have a full squad that game. They didn't have Storm there. But still, I mean, they slowed Jake down at times. They made it tougher. That Will Morton kid, long, tall, equally, if not more athletic than Jake. So I'm not saying that Jake couldn't score him, but he made it a little bit tougher. And Jake looked at first a little bit more indecisive about shooting around the rim with that length there. But then Jake just decided to say, screw it, let's just play. And it turned out well for them in the end. Close game, though. I mean, they had an opportunity to tie it at the end and missed a shot. Then we're down 4, came down, closed it up within 2. But then at that point, it was like, 1 and some seconds on the inbounds?
Yeah, it ended up being a 2-point game, but it was, for the majority of the end of that thing, it was 4 points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Good. They're going to be fine. They're going to finish well, and I would not want to look past that team come playoff time, even if they have a 4-4 record. Put that aside, guys. That team you don't necessarily want to face in an opening round of a playoffs.
Woo! And we're magically back in the cool, awesome office.
It's like we getting punished by the principal again. Those damn kids were really infuriating me. So, minor technical difficulties aside, Fridley's fun at night.
All right, so we're back here in the office where there are far fewer balls running at our camera. Go ahead.
We're going to do it better. We're trying to find a different location every time. We did actually on the court, looking at the banners, which is probably why Reed and Izzy were outside the glass.
Makes sense.
We're
overrun.
Did we miss a training on how to do this appropriately?
I think it involves a swift. All right. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
We got to cut that, don't we?
Oh, yeah, we're cutting all of that. None of that's going to make it. Okay, let's talk Cavs UDK, your guys' game here. I mean, the Cavs played well, but you guys played much, much better, I think.
We played about a 95% game for the most part. We got up pretty good on them, almost 20 points, but they kept chipping away. They kept working. They got some guys on that team that can shoot. Number 20, I can't remember his name, highly recommend watching that guy in the three-point line. He's got a good clearance capability to get his shot off, and he can hit it from deep. I don't know his name, so we should probably do an overlay on him. He's going to be on the screen. We're back. And then number 21, that team. There are a lot of new faces. I've seen them before.
Side wipe.
Oh, wait,
okay, we'll do that wipe, whatever that one was.
I have no idea what wipe.
We'll do it. Star Wars wipes.
Oh, God. Anyways, he was solid. He didn't get the ball enough from his team. They weren't moving the ball very well. But when he did, he attacked the lane really, really well. I did not have a great defensive game last night. The rebounds were going away from me. But the rest of my guys on my team were hitting really well. We were moving the ball well. But those Cav guys, don't sleep on them. They are probably one of the better teams I've seen that are new to a league coming in with a lot of new faces. A new team in UH that does well is typically a team of players that have played on other teams before that are usually pretty good and want to amass a team together to do something new and be successful. But a lot of new faces in general, like those guys are good. So don't sleep on them. Don't sell them short. They're going to be competitive the rest of the way through, and I think they could surprise somebody at some point. They're a good squad.
Yeah, Running Gun also in Bloomington played the Gorillas really tough.
So I heard, what's his name again, had another killer stat line last night in that Gorilla game.
Hoban?
Yes, Helmy was telling me he had like a really strong double-double again, right?
Yeah, I believe I think he had, I don't know his stat line off the top of my head here, but I know that he grabbed several offensive rebounds again.
Keep talking.
I never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain.
Okay, it's going to be tacky because I'm looking at the stats last night. I couldn't stay for that game, and I don't have them memorized. And like you said, no notes means we use the power of smartphones. He had 27 points on 11 of 24 shooting, 4 of 9 from 3, but he had 24 rebounds, 10 offensive boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. This dude is eating up stat sheets. A PPR of 39.2. And wow. I mean, they also had another guy with another double-double, Corey Hansen, but that John Hoven guy, wow.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
The way Izzy recruits, it's a future gorilla probably.
Oh, no doubt, because, Izzy's only got 5 guys, and he's looking at putting that guy on there. So, but, yeah, I mean, do work, Hoven, do work. That's a good game, man. 27-24.
Yeah, those are Kevin Garnett numbers in his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's switch gears. Let's move over to Fridley now. One of the better games of the day basically ruined everything I possibly could have hoped for having an on-time day today. Supersonics Bulls, double overtime. Here's a couple of the highlights of the end of the game. Sonics Bulls, Harrison would take the ball to the hoop, misses the layup, but Hairston's there for the tip back. Gives the Bulls a 1-point lead. Hoyle then comes down, gets fouled. He'd make both those free throws to cut the lead to 1. And then Warsami at the end of regulation hits a 3 from the corner to tie it. In overtime, Bulls can't convert on a layup that would have given them a 4-point lead. Instead, the Sonics turn it into 2 points by John Goodrich, tying the game back up. Harrison takes it to the basket here, misses the layup, but check it out, catches the ball out of bounds, and the ball is awarded to the Bulls. Take a look at it again in slow motion. Clearly catches it out of bounds, even rolls his eyes a little bit. But it wouldn't really matter. The 3 from the corner gets tipped, and we're heading to a second overtime. In the second overtime, the Bulls get it inside to Kevin Chase, who is fouled, makes the bucket for the and one, would miss the free throw. Hoyle then comes down on the other end, takes a pick from Goodrich and nails a 3 to give the Sonics a lead. But the Bulls would come back down 4. The kick outside, the foul, the 3. It's good. Check out how close this was to being a turnover instead of a game-tying 4-point play. Look at that. That's about as close to a line as you can get without being out of bounds. But instead, Bulls tie the game. Sonics looking to try to do something, but the Bulls get a steal, drop it back to Harrison. And the Bulls would take an 82-80 lead. The Sonics would come down. A last-ditch effort. Fadeaway 3 from the corner is no good. Bulls will win 82-80. It was a wild end of the game. You guys came out on top. Thankfully. Sonics came out on bottom, unfortunately. But I think this Sonics team is for real.
The Sonics team's deadly from the 3, and we made a lot of mistakes of not doing hard hedges early in the game, and Hoyle got open for a lot of good 3s. And if he didn't have it, he kicked it out to Gorse, and he was hitting 3s as well. That guy can shoot. That guy got me to tie that game up with a head fake. I contested, and he jumps to the short corner, about as close as you can get without it not being a 3 or being out of bounds, deep from that side as a righty, and he hit a tough shot. So that was a hell of a hit. But if you play the hedges hard, because they're going to look at setting screens like crazy to free Josh up, and don't leave Gorse open, and otherwise they're going to rip you up at the 3, and they shot well from there. Hoyle had a good game tonight. He was like 6 of 11, I think, from 3. And the ones he missed were ones that were contested. So you got to contest them, but if you're not going to help your buddy out in the screen, they're going to get points. And that was our mistake tonight. And I think we could have probably closed that game out sooner, but I didn't want to lose because I picked my team to win, and you picked the Sonics to win, and I have to get up on those predictions. So. Yeah.
It felt like there was some higher power that didn't want that bet to be decided.
Oh, you're saying a higher power benefited me? That's a.
I guess it must have been. I don't know.
Time first.
Well, hey, I'm the one in the cast, so stuff's not working for me.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, let's move on. So let's talk about the game that finished well before the other one that started at 8 o'clock. Killer Bees against the Free Ballers. It was a good game, but
the first half, obviously, I couldn't see it because our game put everything back a half hour.
Yeah, it was back and forth. It showed that the Killer Bees are a team that can be reckoned with if everybody shows up. The problem... Jesus, I thought I turned all these stupid alarms off.
Please, just beep that.
Hmm?
It's me, Mario.
Hey. Yeah, the Killer Bees look like a team... Look like the team that I think that they are in the first half, right? Yeah. They move the ball well. They got up and down. They play good defense. But, I mean, they only had 5 guys. You know, you gotta show up, you know, and that's tough.
Had all 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they added Ethan this week, and you're only going to come up with 5, and you get the role of the Blazers the first week, and then you get Free Ballers, or sorry, not first week, Blazers second week, and Free Ballers third week. 2 games in a row, and you can't get your full squad here. Come on, guys. Help each other out. Or get teammates that will show up to your games.
But this team, I think if they can get everybody there and get everybody playing together and they start to gel, I think this is going to be a tough team come playoff time. You know, it's just a matter of what their road's going to look like if they keep piling up, you know, losses trying to figure everything out. So
yeah, from what I saw from bits and pieces of that second game, or the second half, because our game ate up the first half, so I couldn't see the Barracuda game either. But they did look like they were moving the ball better than they did against the Blazers. And it was a closer game, but, you know, it sounded like from talking to someone that they ran out of gas, and that's bodies. And that will affect your defense. That'll affect your rebounding. That'll affect your ability to get out in transition. They got some guys in that team that require the transition game to get open. Abdi loves to push that game up in transition and hit that mid-range jumper or hit somebody else trailing. So if you guys can't get that going, you're making it easier in the defense. So get your players there. Come on, guys. Make it interesting. Otherwise, you're just going to upset Zach every time he picks them, and you come up with 5 guys, and you lose. And it keeps piling on my win profile. So
I have faith that they're going to get some wins. They've got some very talented people on there. So, I mean, it's going to be hard for me not to keep picking you guys, but do me a favor and show up. Please.
So the Barracuda game, talk to me about that.
The Barracuda Jumpman, it essentially, they played each other tough. Jumpman looked a lot better than they did the week before against the Scorpions.
So they banged out by 21 points tonight.
No, it was a much closer game. Okay. It came down near the end. It was a 5-point game at one point with about a minute left, and it's just the Barracudas had a lead and they were able to maintain it. So I mean, it was just a solid. It was a good game. You know, the game was close for the entirety, and it just kind of came down to the end. You know, the Barracudas were able to outlast them.
Okay.
So
that puts the Barracudas at what, 2-1?
2-1.
Good job, Barracudas.
Yeah.
Good start.
No, 1-2.
Sorry, 1-2. My bad. My Bulls team beat them in the first week when I wasn't there, 4-5.
Yeah, they're 1-2 because they lost last week to Sonics.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Sorry, Kudas.
Yeah, but you guys got your first win. Congratulations. You know, hopefully there's many more to come. We'll have to look ahead to your schedule in the podcast here, and we can talk a little bit more about what you guys' outlook looks like going forward. But you got to win. Win's a win.
Yep.
Take it home. Tie it up on a bow. And I tell you what, Jumpman looked a lot better.
That's good.
I think they're a team that could pull out a couple more wins. I don't think they're in the class of the elite, but I think that there are a couple teams out there that they'll be able to at least run with and keep pace with.
Well, who else? I mean, the Kudas and the Scorpions are probably the most successful wins for them, right?
Yeah.
So who's left?
Maybe I'm just being optimistic. I'm an optimist, guys.
I'm not trying to disrespect you, Jumpman. You guys are new. You guys actually got a couple guys on that team I really like. But I mean, you guys are it's gonna be a heavy road the rest of the way. You're gonna play some teams. So I mean, not saying they're not gonna.
The schedule gets significantly harder going forward. So be prepared for that.
They got some guys on that team that played on legitimate franchises before, and it's just they've been gone for a while. So like Trevor Hazen. So I expect them to play better with him manning the helm. So it's gonna get tough. I mean, the top half of Fridley is tough. There's some good teams here.
Optimist, pessimist,
realist,
pessimist,
pragmatic.
All right, another one of the most exciting games, a very weird game.
Yeah.
Fob 5 against the Blazers.
Iron 5 versus Iron 5. Iron Fob 5. Or Fob Iron 5? Well, how should we go?
Firen 5.
No, because you really got to have Fob, because the whole acronym of Fob is very important. Would it be Fob Iron 5
Fabriron?
No, you're trying to combine words and make things up.
Well, Fob Iron 5 is
Fob Iron
just
5
boring,
or
I think.
Iron Fob 5.
Either way, both teams Iron 5ing it. We ran into a scenario that I have never seen before. And so
all my years of playing, never once.
And the funny thing about it too is that I'm still fairly new, and I honestly have no idea what to do in that scenario. And based on what everybody was saying, it sounds like they did the right thing. But we had not one but two guys from FOB. This is me holding up two fingers.
Matt Couture?
Yep, and RyanJansen. And Jansen fouled out probably with, 20 seconds left?
So first, Couture or Matt fouled out before him, right?
Yes.
And so you can stay in the game with 6, right?
You can. Okay, so the way that it was explained to me is that you can play with 6 fouls, but every time it's a technical foul on the 6th,
and everyone
if you stay in, and then every time you foul, they get a technical plus whatever the result of the foul was.
Well, plus ball. It's shots and ball.
Right, it's a technical foul, right?
Right.
Yeah. So no, it wasn't shots and ball though, because Fob took the ball out.
That's right. It's not shots.
So it's just the two, and then the result of the foul, I
So
believe.
if there was a shooting foul on top, so it could be 4 free throws. Got it.
Yep. So anyway, so they were playing with 4. Jansen fouled out again. They shot the technical. It got this game closer because this was a 5-point game when they.
But the thing is, when you have 2 guys with 6, one of those guys has to get off the court.
Yeah.
So it was a 5-on-4 game then for like the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So Matt fouled out, got a 6, and he had to leave because Jansen already had 6. So one of those 2 guys had to leave the game.
Is that how it worked? All right, I'm here with RyanJansen. Ryan, what the hell just happened?
I don't know. We missed a lot of free throws, let them back in the game, and then thought we had lost it, and somehow had a chance to win it at the end. So we were down 1, and we got the ball. I just took it to the basket as hard as I could, and drew contact and got to the line, and finally made a free throw at the end. So.
How does it feel to foul out of a game and hit the game-winning shot?
It's never happened to me before. I was just happy that it didn't cost us the game. So with 4 guys too, because we already had one sitting on the bench for fouling out. So Twan's too big.
This is your first time playing with Fob, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
What's it like with a new team playing up here in Fridley? Have you played in Fridley before?
Yeah, I've played in Fridley for a long time, and then it's been maybe a year or 2 since I have again. But I've played with a lot of the guys on FOB before, so it hasn't been too bad. It's always a little tough right away. You're a little hesitant to shoot. You don't want to, do something dumb in front of a bunch of new guys. So, but it's starting to fit together well. So I like playing with everyone.
Very cool. You guys have the Supersonics next week. They took the Bulls to double overtime. They played them really tough. They're 2-1 right now. What do you guys have looking forward to against the Supersonics next week?
I don't know. Hopefully we have more than 5 guys, and just keep moving the ball around and maybe rebound a little better next week, and I think we'll be all right.
All right. Goody's staring you down. He's ready for you. That has been RyanJansen, Fob 5. All right. So that'll do it for the rec recap. Once again, R.I.P. Prince. What is it? Prince Rogers Nelson is his name. Yep. Do you know that he was named after his father's band that he was in?
I did not know that.
Yeah, his father was in a band called Prince Rogers. So there you go, your fun fact, R.I.P. Prince. And to take us out, here is Tony DeBoer giving us his favorite 3 flavors of ice cream. Cool. What are your top 3 flavors of ice cream?
Ice cream. I'd say chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip cookie dough, and ooh, you got me there. Yeah, strawberry.
I did say top 3. Strawberry's weird though. It's the only one that didn't have chocolate chips in it. All right, Tony DeBoer, everybody.